I'm here in Jim Gary Stadium with Tanner and Corey Gary and Jeff Whalen, where the lines have just been painted for another game of this tremendous season. Tanner, what does Jim Gary mean to you personally?
Well, he was a great guy, like all around. He just always doing the right thing, and to have him be my grandfather just makes it all the better.
Corey Gary?
Like, everyone saw him as Jim Gary, the football coach, but I didn't even know he was a football coach, so I lived in the same house with him for a couple of years, and just, he was a loving guy, very easygoing, and he was just amazing. Sums it up.
Jeff?
Like Tanner said, he was just a pretty good guy. I mean, he loved everyone. He was always just trying to do the right thing, and I think it's pretty cool to be in like such close relations with him.
Tanner Gary, what do you think the naming of the stadium means to you?
Well, he was up here for 44 years, so to have it finally, for him to finally get his recognition for everything that he's done, gives you that good feeling, you know, that everything's right now.
Corey?
I agree, and like, we never had any soccer teams or rugby teams, so he's been on this field pretty much more than anyone has ever been on this field, so I'm pretty glad that the stadium's named after him.
Yeah, he's been devoted to this team and the school for a while. I mean, and it's just good to see that he's getting what he deserves by the naming of the stadium.
And do you think the naming of the stadium of Jim Gary, do you think that contributed to the excellence of this season?
I do, actually, because I know in the locker room and everything during the Sarah Catholic game, the night of the naming of the stadium, everyone's just saying, let's get this one for Jim Gary, let's get this one for Jim Gary, so it just gives you that extra psych to go out there and win a football game.
Yeah, I think everyone before the game, they're like, yeah, let's get this for your pap, and everyone was pumped. They wanted to win one for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it pretty much set the tempo for like the Sarah Catholic game, like they said, and just to come out here under the lights and everything, and just to do it for him, it made us play a lot harder and better.
All right, thank you guys.
Promise.
Thank you.
through 12. Go ahead and get your coats and book bags and go to the bus. Don't forget tonight, 5:30 in the parking lot. Come meet the big fan. Come celebrate with us. The dedication to Jim Gary Stadium.
We'd like to thank all of you alumni coming back for this honor that we're going to bestow on Jim Gary tonight. Jim, as you know, was a stalwart Ranger and the epitome of a football coach, especially in the high school ranks. There are a few people that we'd like to recognize tonight for putting this reception on. Jeff Marquis, our cafeteria manager, and all of his staff, Ray Miller, Grant Miller, Larry Hiron, and especially Debbie Kessler for the behind-the-scenes work that she has all put forth. Brent Fleister, I'm going to ask you to come up here, our athletic director. Tim Royal, I'm going to ask you to come up here, who is our high school principal, and all of the Gary family. If you could come up here, because I'm going to honor all of you before we get started. And as they're coming up here, if everybody could please give a moment of silence to Jim Gary. We know you're with us tonight, Jim. We're here to honor you. Now we'll move. First, I'm going to ask the Gary family to come up because we have a certificate that we have available for everyone tonight. That certificate is framed. There's one for everyone here tonight at the far back table. When you leave, please take one with you. But the certificate reads, the Fort Cherry School District, in recognition of the dedication of the Jim Gary Stadium, honoring all associated with the life and legacy of Jim Gary. Through 44 years as the head coach of Ranger football, he compounded a record of 265 wins, 153 losses, and 14 ties. He was two-time Tri-County Coach of the Year and was inducted into both the Pennsylvania Scholastic Coaches Hall of Fame and the Washington Greene County Hall of Fame. Quotes from two former players of Coach Gary's and fellow Washington Greene County Hall of Famers are emblematic of his graceful style. He was everything that was right about high school activities, said Marvin Lewis, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. And I admired him when I played for him and coached against him, John Hutt, former Chartiers Houston High School head coach, said. In addition to coaching and teaching thousands of Fort Cherry youth, Coach Gary counted NFL coaches Marty and Kurt Schottenheimer and NFL player Perry Kemp as his proteges. Jim Gary was a teacher, coach, family man, and friend. He was a man of unquestioned integrity. His life was committed to leadership and service. There has been no greater job of coaching high school athletes than that put forth by Coach Gary. For that, all ever associated with Ranger Nation are proud and humbled to have been linked to a man who would be proudly humbled to have our stadium be known from this point forward as Jim Gary Stadium. So the Gary family, this certificate is for you.